You know, earlier in the program, we highlighted a doctor who was one of the many heroes on the ground in Boston right after those bombs went off. And many of those first responders, medics, good Samaritans, they are being hailed, rightfully so, for their courage and their efforts to save victims. And it turned out, as anybody will attest, that many lives were saved because of the unbelievable fast response by so many different people at the Boston Marathon. And Dominic joins us now with more on that.
Well, Richard, the bottom line is they didn't stop, they didn't hesitate. When people needed assistance, these heroes didn't think twice about it. Amid the panic and fear, seconds after 2 bombs exploded at the Boston Marathon, hundreds ran from the chaos. But some ran towards the carnage.
My first instinct was to just run across the street and start helping out the people.
Carlos Arredondo helped rescue a man who lost both of his legs. Arredondo was at the finish line handing out flags to runners as a tribute to his fallen military sons. The tragic stain of the bombings evident on that flag in his hands.
Not only helping others, but I honor my son and I remember my sons.
Former New England Patriot Joe Andruzzi carried an injured woman to safety.
I was just looking to help in any which way I can.
And doctors, exhausted from completing the 26-mile race, kept running back and forth, rescuing patients.
So if you want to know who we are, what America is, how we respond to evil, that's it.
The bomb went off and, of course, immediately came to the hospital.
Trauma surgeon Dr. David King had just finished running the marathon when he went into surgery.
I walked into the emergency room. I thought to myself, this is exactly like I was back in Iraq or Afghanistan.
And doctors who have been working nonstop in Boston area hospitals since the explosions say it's these heroic efforts that have made the biggest impact.
Because of the rapid pre-hospital response, life was able to be saved.
So much pain, but Americans helping fellow Americans. Richard?
You kind of had that pit in your stomach when you saw this play out, like kind of a little bit that we saw on that September morning 11 and a half years ago, right? But with the worst, you also saw some of the best humanity.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And from your end, have you found from the law enforcement side that when the worst is going on, even you guys are surprised by some of the courage in all shapes and sizes, the regular person literally running towards?
I think humans in general are good. And when tragedy happens, most people want to help. Most people will look out. There's that question, am I my brother's keeper? Well, yes, you are. We are. And I think Americans, when push comes to shove, there's no political parties. It's not left, it's not right. It's we are Americans. That is my brother, that is my sister, and I'm going to take care of them. I believe that about us Americans.
And on that note, we jump to a quick break. We'll wrap things up after this.